Today with the Wealth Podcast, where we talk about financial, social, time, or physical health. And today I have Sparks.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay.
Yes, and Sparks, as most of you would know, is a media personality, radio personality, someone who I would say has large amounts of social wealth. I would suspect she has made relationships over years.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing what you're doing?
20 odd years. 20 what? I'm not sure. I think I started in 2000.
Right.
2000.
Right.
Yeah, when I came back from my studies in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
That's when I really started. No, let me correct that. When I came back from the British Virgin Islands.
Right.
Because I was living in the British Virgin Islands.
Right,
And I came home and I decided I wanted to take 1 year to just get involved in the arts before going on to do my master's.
Okay.
And that was in 1999.
So back then in the 90s,
Yeah.
what was when somebody said to you wealth? What was your understanding of wealth?
My understanding then of wealth was material possessions.
Right.
You're young, that's what you tend to think about.
Right.
But for me, it's so much more than that now.
Right.
Especially because I really am into health, and I've seen quite a number of persons who have suffered from just working too long, who have suffered from not spending quality time with friends, and seeing their health deteriorate.
Right.
And so for me, wealth really more has to do with health, because if you have a good foundation of health, then you can make the financial wealth, you'll have the social wealth, you'll have the time wealth. If you're unhealthy and you're deteriorating, you definitely won't have a lot of time either.
Right.
So for me, it comes back to health.
Excellent. So we want to zoom in where I suspect one of our major pillars are, which is social wealth. So over the years, they say everything you do should be about relationships. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. Relationships are very important. People think that, it's all about money. Relationships are very important, because with relationships, you can earn money. With relationships, you can build good mental and emotional health. With relationships, you can get into things that you don't even have to pay for, just because you build a good relation with persons. And so it's very important, at least for me.
Right.
I've seen it work for other persons, but I know in my life it is also important.
Right. So how would you, if I was to ask you to measure social wealth, what do you think a good measurement or a scale could be to identify social wealth?
I don't think I am the right person to ask that, but I would say when you can walk freely, and you have to look over your shoulder if anybody are going to steal a rock stone in your head back, and you have to walk with security guard. I am that. And you have to take drugs to go to your bed. That would be me, because I can walk freely anywhere in any part of Jamaica without that fear. And that is because I know, and this is not tooting my own horn, even though sometimes you have to toot it, I carry good energy. And because I try to treat people with respect. I wouldn't even want to say try. I treat people with respect, because at the end of the day, the same blood goes through all of our veins. And even though Jay might be the owner of this magnificent facility, and I might be a media practitioner that you recognize from not only in person, but maybe on social media platforms and in media, beyond that is the same blood coursing through my veins that is coursing through your veins. And because I treat people with respect, I think that has enhanced my social capital. Because me having a good social network is not because I'm trying to be popular. Because even if tomorrow I am not on media, at the core of it, I am Sparks. I am me.
Right.
I am not defined by the public.
Right.
But it's just that my personality and how I operate in the sphere of life, it tends to, build a good social connection.
Wow. All right, so I mean that's amazing. Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager, mentioned, he's where I got that quote from. Everything in life is about relationships. And Klopp, they asked him when he won the European Cup, they said to him, how did you win? And he's like, the relationships that the players had with the entire staff. The lady who works in the cafeteria that makes the food, the guy who cuts the lawn, they had great relationships with them. And they said that level of teamwork is what contributed to them winning. Now, you mentioned about earnings potentially could be increased based upon the quality and the types of relationships that you build over years. Now, I've heard as well where persons say that they could 3x their earnings due to the social networks that they have. You want to elaborate on that for me a little bit more? How someone could potentially increase their earnings double, triple based upon social relationships?
It comes to small things. Again, it comes back to energy. It's not just meeting people and acting. You cannot act because energy is everything. Energy is real. In Jamaica, we have a thing where we say, my spirit not take that the smother day. Or you're standing in a room and you feel like somebody's piercing in your neck back. That is energy. All right, so building on that now, you have to carry that energy into any relationship that you go into. So I may not have known Jay. I know Jay. Now we're here speaking and interacting. And because Jay saw my personality, or Jay's team saw my personality emanating from my social media, that's how I ended up here at Spry. And that's how we have built a relationship. So my manager, my agent, Tango, has the same kind of demeanor as I do. And what we do is build relationships. A lot of people, they will meet someone and it's about, take, what can I get? That's not what we're about. My whole purpose is, okay, I know I can teach you something, you can teach me something. How can we come together and make it better and build upon it, right? And that is how you can actually increase your wealth, whether it's in terms of time, whether it's in terms of health, or whether it's in terms of social as we're here, or financial, which a lot of persons think about. And that's how you can actually leverage it. People think all the time it's all about just a monetary transaction. It's not about that only. Some persons prefer that route. Kudos to you. I'm not always just about that route. And so you can leverage all of those things and increase your wealth or people's perception of wealth.
Wow, powerful stuff today. I think we can kind of basically bring it to an end there, because Sparks has really gone into the base of energy and how that impacts wealth. But remember, we discuss wealth from a broad scale. We talk about social, as we covered today, time wealth, how much time do you have, financial wealth, how much money or assets, and of course physical wealth, which is the status of your health. So I mean, Sparks, thanks for joining us and sharing with us today.
It's a pleasure, you know, because Jay is a very focused person, you know. Jay not really talky, you know. You know what I mean? He's a man where I always try to get people disciplined. Jay, let me just take this opportunity. I see what you do, and let me commend you here for what you do. There's something that I had read, and it really reads true, and a lot of persons probably don't understand it, that discipline is freedom. Sometimes if you don't know Jay and you look on him, you probably think that he's too militant. You know what? We need to do hard things, as he says. You have to do hard things. You have to challenge yourself, because when you get too comfortable, that's where you rot. That's where you decay. That's where you decline. And what I love is that Jay, I've seen him have myriad trainers over the years, and just to see how they grow, to see what he instills in them, the discipline, and how they carry out and how it transfer into how they build the customers, the clients who come here, and the change, and you see the look on their faces and the transformations in their bodies. Jay, I want to see you do some more public speaking, because we need to carry that energy straight through the society. We're experiencing a decline not only in Jamaica but in other spaces across the world, and we need your kind of energy for bring it together. We have to rein things in, because yes, you can want to be spontaneous, but even within spontaneity, there's some level of order and discipline, and we need that. And you're doing that, and I love that, and I want to see more of it right across Jamaica.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Sparks. All right, thank you guys. Bye.